Helping kids talk at the table without forcing them. Have you ever found yourself sitting at the dinner table, looking across at your child, and realizing it's completely silent? Perhaps you ask about their day. How was school? And get a shrug, a mumbled, fine, or even just complete silence. It's a moment many parents know well, and it can leave you feeling a little rejected, a little worried, and perhaps wondering if you're doing something wrong. You want to connect, to hear about their world. But the more you push, the more they seem to retreat. It's a common challenge. And it doesn't mean your child doesn't love you, or that you're failing as a parent. It simply means we need a different approach, one that builds connection without creating pressure. Today, we're going to explore some gentle habits that invite your children into mealtime conversation, rather than forcing them. We'll talk about how to create an environment where sharing feels natural and safe, slowly building their comfort and confidence over time. You are not alone in this feeling, and you are about to discover some truly effective ways to transform your family mealtimes into moments of genuine connection. If this is resonating with you already, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Wise Parent, and tell me in the comments how old your child is. Your engagement helps us reach more parents who are looking for a wiser, more emotionally intelligent way to raise their children. First, let's acknowledge a profound truth. Children are not always mini adults ready to perform on command. Their brains are still developing, especially the parts responsible for complex social interactions and verbal articulation under pressure. For many children, especially those with more sensitive temperaments, a direct question about their day can feel like an interrogation. It can trigger a mild stress response, shutting down the very part of their brain that helps them retrieve memories and form elaborate sentences. What looks like rejection to us might actually be a child's internal system going quiet, overwhelmed by the expectation to perform. It is so important to validate both the quiet child and the concerned parent. If your child is often quiet at meals, they might be processing a busy day. They might be naturally introverted. They might be highly sensitive to sensory input, or they might simply not have the words yet to articulate what they're feeling or thinking. None of this means they are disconnected from you. In fact, a truly safe and connected environment is one where they feel accepted exactly as they are, even in their silence. As parents, our deep desire for connection is natural and beautiful. We long to hear their stories, to understand their inner world. When that connection seems elusive, it's understandable to feel a pang of worry or even sadness. But remember, you are a brain architect. Every interaction you have, even the silent ones, is building the foundation of their emotional world. So, how do we gently invite conversation without pushing them away? We start by creating emotional safety, which always comes before skills like talking on demand. A child who feels safe will eventually open up. A child who feels pressured will shut down. Let me offer you some practical, loving strategies that you can start using tonight. One powerful practice is to have everyone share one small thing. Instead of asking open-ended questions that can feel overwhelming, you set a low-pressure expectation for the entire family. For example, everyone at the table, including you and your partner, could share one good thing that happened today, or one interesting thing I saw, or one thing I'm looking forward to tomorrow. The key here is that times everyone times participates, and the item shared is small and simple. You, as the parent, go first, modeling vulnerability and ease. You might say, "My one good thing today was finally finishing that difficult report at work," or "I saw a really beautiful red bird outside the window this morning." When it comes to your child, if they just say pizza for their good thing, that's perfectly fine. You celebrate their participation, no matter how brief. This builds comfort over time, slowly showing them that their voice, even a small one, is valued. Another wonderful strategy is using cards or simple prompts. There are many conversation starter card sets designed for families, or you can even make your own. Write down silly questions like, "If you could have any superpower, what would it be?" Or, "What's the funniest animal you can think of?" You can take turns picking a card, or pick one for the whole family to answer. This turns mealtime into a game, reducing the pressure to come up with something profound. It shifts the focus from "what did you do today?" to a shared experience of playful imagination. Remember, the goal is connection over control. We want to spark joy and curiosity, not just extract information. Think about this for a moment. How often do we expect our children to be fluent communicators without first creating a truly safe space for them to practice? Sometimes, our well-meaning attempts to engage can inadvertently shut them down. It's a challenging paradox for parents, isn't it? You want to hear their stories, to be part of their world, and when they resist, it's natural to feel that worry creep in. But what if we paused and just observed for a moment? What if we understood that true connection is often built in the quiet moments too? If any of these thoughts are helping you reframe your mealtime approach, please share your biggest takeaway in the comments below. It helps me understand what truly resonates with you and your family. Next, it's essential to respect nonverbal participation. Sometimes, a child might be listening intently, enjoying the presence of the family, or communicating through smiles, nods, or even just eye contact. This is still participation, and it's still connection. Not all communication has to be verbal. When you acknowledge and appreciate these nonverbal cues, you're telling your child, I see you. I value your presence. Even if you're not speaking much, this builds their sense of belonging and security. Over time, as they feel more secure in their nonverbal presence, the verbal communication will often naturally follow. This is about building inner confidence, helping them find their own light and voice at their own pace. Remember that building comfort takes time. This isn't a one-week fix. It's a slow, consistent, gentle process. Think of it like building a beautiful, intricate structure brick by brick. Each positive, low-pressure mealtime is a brick. You're not just trying to get them to talk, you're helping them build their emotional intelligence by showing them that their feelings and boundaries are respected. You're teaching them implicitly that it's okay to not always have something to say, and it's also okay to eventually share when they feel ready. This approach fosters emotional safety first, which is the bedrock for all other learning and growth. Consider modeling sharing your own highs and lows or roses and thorns for the day. For example, you might say, my rose today was getting a lovely compliment from a colleague. My thorn was spilling my coffee all over my shirt. When you share a thorn, you model vulnerability and show that not every moment is perfect. This teaches your child that it's safe to share the less than perfect parts of their day too, without fear of judgment or having to fix anything. It opens the door for emotional expression. Another simple but effective method is what I call family story time. Instead of asking direct questions, parents can take turns telling a brief story about their day. Today, when I was at the grocery store, I saw the funniest dog wearing a little hat, or something really interesting happened at work today that made me laugh. You're providing a narrative for them to listen to. And often, children will organically jump in with their own story, especially if it relates to yours. You're not forcing them. You're just creating a rich, inviting narrative environment. Also, focus on descriptive observations rather than questions. Instead of, what did you do today? You might try, I noticed you were building a magnificent castle with your blocks this afternoon. What was your favorite part of building it? This shifts from an open-ended, potentially overwhelming question to a specific observation that invites a focused response. It shows you've been paying attention to their world, which makes them feel seen and valued. Finally, while it's important to create an inviting environment, it's equally important to minimize distractions. This means no phones, no tablets, and no TV at the table. A distraction-free zone signals that this is a time for presence and connection. Even if that connection is initially quiet, it emphasizes that the family and the food are the main event, creating a calm anchor for their nervous system. You are not a bad parent if your child is quiet at the dinner table. You are simply on a journey of understanding how their unique brain and temperament work. By shifting from a desire to control conversation to an intention to create a safe, inviting space, you are building something far more profound than just table talk. You are nurturing their emotional intelligence, their inner confidence, and the deep, secure attachment that will last a lifetime. This connection over control approach is the essence of wise parenting. Celebrate the small steps. Celebrate the quiet presence. Celebrate every tiny moment of connection. I encourage you to pick just one of these gentle habits, perhaps the everyone shares one small thing, or using conversation cards, and try it tonight. Observe what happens with curiosity and kindness. Come back and tell us in the comments what you tried and how it felt for your family. Like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe to Wise Parent for more insights on raising emotionally intelligent children, and consider watching our video on building resilience in highly sensitive children next. You are doing amazing work, and your willingness to adapt and grow makes all the difference.